negative thoughts in your mind that you aren't good enough, that you'll never be successful? If so, you're not alone. I've had those thoughts playing in my mind ever since I took the leap to become an entrepreneur. It's a dirty, dark secret that no one likes to talk about, as the glamorization of becoming an entrepreneur is shown in the media. I realized that in order to succeed, I needed help. We all do. So I decided to go all in on myself, spending thousands of hours in the trenches, reading, joining groups, listening to podcasts, hiring coaches to develop a bulletproof morning routine for success. Join me on my journey as together we build our morning fire to ignite our lives as entrepreneurs. My name is Jeff Wickersham, and this is the Morning Fire for Entrepreneurs podcast. Welcome to the Morning Fire for Entrepreneurs podcast. I'm excited to have special guest on the show, Eric Martel, founder of Martel Turnkey, on the show today. Eric, welcome to the show.
Well, welcome. Thank you. And thank you for having me. I really enjoyed being here.
Absolutely. So I love getting into state because nothing can be done without energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. So If you do a couple breathing techniques, then we'll get a little roar in and we'll go from there. So we're going to breathe in through the belly, up through our chest, and we're going to raise our hands as we do it. So we're going to do 3 breaths. Go ahead, breathe in. And out. Good. Another breath in. And out. Final breath in. And out. All right, next, I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. We're going to yell boom, pound our chest at the top of our lungs. All right, in 3, 2, 1, and boom, boom. There you go. Love it. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for playing along.
Almost popped my headphones on.
There you go. There you go. Love it. So I eat, sleep, and breathe morning habits, rituals, routines. Share with the audience what you do on a daily basis that sets you down that path towards success.
Yeah, for me, it's the morning is fantastic. It's really energizing for me, and I always start with a little bit of exercise. So it could be as simple as yoga. It could be I have my own yoga routine that I do. I go for a run. I live close. I'm very lucky. I live close to the beach, and and it's pretty nice year round. So I get to run on the beach. I like running barefoot and kind of feel the water and the sand, and then I swim as well. So kind of again, it's kind of when you're swimming, you don't have music on. I haven't found headphones that I can put on underwater, but it is great. You're just by yourself, and there's you have the noise of the water and all of that. And I think this is important. This is important to kind of just for you. You can't think about anything else. You can't think about work. You can't think about the problems. You can't think about the call that you're going to have with your lawyer and all these nice things that happens when you run a business. So it really helps you kind of like, to me, I think it's really about helping you get grounded and then get ready for the day ahead. So that's kind of like that physical activity. And then after that, I'd like to spend, 20 to 30 minutes to kind of really focus on the business. What's the priority for me, for the family, and for the business? And a couple of things that I need to do today in order to to move my agenda forward, to reach my goal, and then to help the company and the family reach their goal.
Nice. Love it. And it sounds like, obviously the exercise, so movement, right? Getting the body for that natural energy that you get there, as well as creating some space when you're in the water. You were talking about, you don't have any other distractions that can take your mind any which way. You've got to focus on the swimming. And that allows you to really ground yourself and then move into, hey, what are my priorities for the day? How long have you been doing that sort of routine?
Well, I moved here in last year, so I've been doing that for a year. The swimming part of it, the running, I've been doing that forever. So that's and the yoga as well. So this is pretty much it's like ingrained in something that I do, and and I think, yeah, I mean, my wife used to say that motion is the lotion. So basically, because you get out of bed, you kind of like have all kinds of kinks and stuff like that, and I think it just moving the body a little bit just kind of helps you get started, and and to me, it really energizes me. I mean, my kids keep telling me when I come back from swimming or running or whatever, they say, "Oh my God, I have more energy." The more energy you go there to run and do these things, you have more energy coming back. I don't know how that works, but you put energy out, you get more energy back.
Yeah, and it's incredibly powerful, and it's so funny. I was laughing as you were saying that, because I've had a very similar experience. Right, working out in the morning, you get that endorphin release. You're energized, you're pumped up, and I come back and everybody says, "Didn't you just work out for a certain time period? How are you more energetic?" And if there ever was a magic pill, it's exercise, right? And so many people avoid it. But if you want that energy, you want that vigor in your life, that enthusiasm, getting some exercise first in the morning is truly that path towards getting those things that you desire.
Yeah. I just want to say also, I used to teach spinning class, and I used to teach in the morning, and then sometimes I had classes in the after work, like at 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. The people in the morning were so much more energized and friendly and stuff like that, and talkative, and then the people that used to come to my class at 5 or 6 and stuff like that, they were like beaten down. There's no talking. There was just it was depressing. I got rid of that class, but eventually. But oh my God, I said, like, I couldn't they were bringing me down.
Yeah.
And, so anyway.
Very, very interesting, the dynamic there, right? Of people that do it first thing in the morning, and you being aware of how the class dynamics were later in the day. So that's pretty interesting. So I know we want to talk on a couple subjects that are near and dear to your heart. One, let's talk about the best investment vehicle to start with. I know you had an entrepreneurial journey of starting out as an actuary, going into technology, and then falling back in love with your first true love, real estate. But let's touch on the best investment vehicle that somebody can start with, because I know we want to talk about financial freedom and all that good stuff. So let's start there.
Yeah. So I think, if you just start imagining what the perfect investment would be, you would want an investment where you can use leverage. You want to put a little bit of money to generate big returns. You want something that had a lot of tax advantages. You would want something that gives you cash flow on a regular basis and appreciate over time. And you want to be with that investment, you want to have other tax benefits so that your capital gains would also be sheltered from that. I've looked at many different types of investment, including stock markets and all of that. And really the best investment that I've found is really that ticks all these boxes is real estate, single family rentals or apartment rentals, things that generate passive income. So to me, that's the best investment. It doesn't mean that you have to put all your eggs in that one basket, but I think a significant component of your portfolio should be in some rental properties that's going to provide cash flow and tremendous tax benefits.
So I love real estate as well. I'm an investor and hold properties myself. For somebody that's new to that thought, or someone that has said for 2, 3, 5, 10 years, I should get into real estate, how do they find their first investment property?
Yeah. So I think the first is really to look at turnkey. So if you start from the ground up, it's a little bit difficult. You have to identify the right market. You have to find the right property. Often you have to, the property is in disrepair. You have your ideal market may not be your neighborhood, right? If you live in the San Francisco Bay Area or LA, it's not the ideal environment to buy a rental property. So you would want to buy something that's out of state. So you need to build a team and all of that. So it's pretty complicated to really, if you start really with a blank slate.
Okay.
My recommendation is to, my recommendation is to do something that's called turnkey. So work with a turnkey provider that is, they're doing all the work. They've identified great markets that work for you. They've renovated the property. They have put a tenant in place. I mean, some of them is known, but we normally put a tenant in place with our business. And then when you buy the property, you have the tenant, you know how much money you're making, and then you have also the property management that you're introduced to. You're introduced to the lender. It's just very, very smooth. And we're trying to make it as smooth as possible. But that's the idea here, especially when you have a full-time job. You don't have necessarily a lot of time to look around for the different markets and different properties, and then the neighborhoods, and talking to and building your team.
Gotcha.
So that's my recommendation.
Okay, makes sense. If anybody has any questions as we're going through this interview, drop them in the comments. So turnkey, for somebody that doesn't even know what that is, can you define that for us, Eric?
Yeah, so turnkey is a company that the concept is that everything has been done for you. It's really ready to go. It's cash flowing from day one. Everything has been done for you. So you have a new tenant in place. It's been renovated and all of that. So you just signed the paper. You signed your lending document, your mortgage, and then you have everything ready for you to go.
Okay, so this would be somebody that has a chunk of change that they want to invest in the real estate game. They don't know where to start. Maybe they're not in the right market, and they can come to an organization like yours and say, here's what I want to invest. And then you come back with a property, or you come back, what's the scenario there?
Yeah, so we have a lot of properties on our website that we advertise and say, well, these properties are for sale. And then, we would work, they would work with one of our consultant salesperson to basically walk them through the whole process. So make sure it's the right property for them, go through the numbers. Most of the time right now, we're selling actually during the renovations. So we're telling them this is what the numbers are going to be. We continue the renovations. When the renovations are done, we share the pictures and all of that of where we are. They can do an inspection, and etc. We connect them with the lender. They start working on that. But really, we're ushering them throughout the whole process, which is ideal for somebody that's not familiar with real estate investing, that has a full-time job, so they don't have time to go and figure all these things out. And then they have a little bit of money. And it's with as little as $20,000, you can buy a single family rental. So, and the single family rentals are great because this is something that you can invest in, over time. You don't have to buy 20-unit apartment building or 20 single family. You can just buy one this year, you buy two next year, etc. And then you start slowly build your portfolio and build your passive income. So you can see the progress that you're making every month.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I know you had a backstory where you were frustrated with how, as you were an actuary, when you first started the move from pension to 401ks. So out of pain, out of the tech bust, that really triggered you to get back into real estate. Tell the audience a little bit about your journey and how you've kind of gone into real estate again.
Yeah, so I used to be an actuary, and for those of you who don't know, this is really the mathematics of financial risk. So we work a lot with insurance companies, but also I was specialized in pension, and so I worked a lot, like you mentioned, into converting these pension plans. Most people don't even know about these pension plans anymore. Nobody talks about them. But in the old days, after you worked for 25 years, you would get like a gold watch, and then you would have a pension that the company would say, oh yeah, this is your pension. You're going to get basically 50% of your salary at retirement. We're going to guarantee that, and this is it. So you already had a significant portion of your retirement income that was guaranteed by that pension plan. Then you had the rest was Social Security, and then a little bit more maybe from savings, your 401k and stuff like that. That was a three-legged stool, and now we're on a two-legged stool. So it's not much of a stool, but anyway, so that's kind of where we are now. So you have Social Security, and then you have a lot, hopefully, if you're lucky, a lot of savings that you have to figure out what to do. So I was kind of in that situation, having a lot of savings. I was working in high tech as well, so I had a lot of stock options. And then, so I was kind of counting on that. Everything was fine and dandy. But then we had the dot-com crash, and then that was like, okay, well, that sets back my whole plan now. I was diversified, but I was diversified in the same asset class. I was diversified in all kinds of stocks, but everything was in the stock market. So when the whole stock market crashed, my whole portfolio was not wiped out, but significantly impacted. So I knew I had to change something. So that's when I decided to kind of like really focus on the passive income. And the reason is that, I knew that it was inevitable. Eventually I would have to retire. I would want to, but I can retire as early as possible. That'd be even better. So I knew I had to set myself on the path to generate passive income. I tried all kinds of different things, gourmet sauce company. I mean, luckily my wife is an entrepreneur as well. So I was the plan was, okay, I work now as with my independent consulting gig, and then she would go and start and be the workhorse basically for these different businesses. So she did like low carb grocery stores. We did the gourmet sauce company, etc. And the hope for all of these things was that it would generate passive income. The closest we've been to that was kind of the gourmet sauce company. We were in many stores. The company was called Culinary Twist. And then, so we were in many stores in Whole Foods and a couple of other stores across the country. We did okay, but it was really, in order for us to sell, we had to constantly put marketing effort, constantly be in front of customers, doing in-stores demos and stuff like that. So the whole thing was kind of like, yeah, we made some money, but we had to spend the same amount of money basically to generate these revenues. So basic break even. And after 5 years, we decided, okay, there's no traction here. So we decided to regroup and do something else. And then that's when we ended up in real estate. When my younger son, who was like 19 or 20 at the time, approached me and say, I want to do real estate. So I said, I thought real estate agent. I said, okay, well, it's a little difficult in the Bay Area to do that at 19 or 18. So, but yeah, it's a good time to get started too. I mean, by the time you're 30, you're going to have a good portfolio of customers. But he said he was really interested in real estate investing. So that's when we got on that bandwagon. And then my older son, when he graduated, then he got on that bandwagon as well. And that's when Martel Turnkey came up. Nice.
Love it. So I love the journey, and I love now that the family's all involved, right? And
yeah,
that's a great.
And now my wife is also involved. So,
there you go.
Yeah, that's we have a pretty good team.
There you go. Love it. So what is the mistake that most people are making, right? Where they don't achieve financial independence, right? Why are they not achieving financial independence?
So I think there are a couple of reasons. I think the lack of focus, I think, and focusing on the right thing. I mean, our society has ADHD, and we are unable to focus on what's really important. I mean, we keep going, and you keep seeing it. I mean, I talk to a lot of real estate investors, and I ask them what's their goal. They say, "Yeah, I want to retire." And okay, so what's your plan? Well, I'm going to flip these houses and blah blah blah. But flipping houses is going to generate capital, but then you're going to have, if you want to make that as a living, you're going to have to keep flipping houses. So you're basically getting yourself a job. So you're not retiring. So you have to identifying the right strategy that's aligned with your goal is very important. then you have to look at kind of like your resources too. So that's people are often underestimating the amount of time that it takes to do some of these investments, or the amount of capital that's needed, or the amount of skills that you need to do that. I learned early on that I should not be doing any type of renovations whatsoever. Maybe change a light bulb, but that's it. Maybe electronics, setting up networks and stuff like that, but that's it. So nothing about the toilets and all that.
Yep.
So, and then delegate. And then, so that's the other mistake that people do, is that they try to do everything, try to do too much of the work that they're not really good at, and they're afraid to delegate because it's going to cost too much. Mm-hmm. But instead, it's about building the team that has the right skill set. And then after that is to you focusing on the business. What is, you're the one making the sauce here, but you have other people that are going to help you do that. You have to be leading everybody towards your goal.
Yep. No, I love that piece related to being the leader, delegating, and figuring out what you're good at, and then getting other key people in place to actually do the work. So truly like that fact. So Eric, where can people find you?
Well, so my website, marteleric.com. So in there you have a lot of information about where to reach me. On Instagram at @e_Martel, on Facebook at eric.martel.ca. And of course, our website where we sell these turnkey properties is martelturnkey.com.
Awesome. Eric, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. Rise, fight, love, repeat. Get after it. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Morning Fire for Entrepreneurs podcast. You now have the knowledge, but without action, knowledge is useless. Choose to act. Choose to step into your greatness and unlock that hero inside of you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review so more entrepreneurs can hear this message. If you absolutely love this podcast, which I hope you do, then share it up with someone you know who might see benefit from it. Become that beacon of change, and together we can impact the world.